We out here in the woods. We got the gun. We got the gear and stuff on, plate carrier and whatnot. We exploring. You know, it is what it is. Secure the phone in there. Undisclosed location. You don't need to know. Oh, look at that. We got a little... Oh, that's a whole ass rib cage. Rest in peace, random deer. Alright, we gonna have to jump. How we gonna do this? It's not the jumping that's the issue. It's the where do I put my rifle? I think I know what I'm gonna do. Hold up. There we go. We got a nice path right up through there. Some foliage in the way. Ooh. So, that right there is the creek. Runs back behind where I'm located. Again, not that you need to know that. We have this big old open area right here. Got houses that way. Like I said, I got the camo, the plate carrier, the battle belt. We got the rifle with the red dot. Little hand stop for my thumb. Get that good placement. Wire cutter style barrel. Nice soft mod stock. Is what it is. Think I'm gonna head that way. It's hot too. I think it's like something like 80 degrees. Something around there. I'm not too entirely sure. I'm not necessarily checking the weather. Got some thorns and stuff right there. Good old Midwest. Everything in the forest has spikes on it for some reason. I don't know why. It's also another great point. I know thorns are meant to like stop animals and whatnot from eating like roses, for example, but it's like the worst thing evolutionarily in terms of defense. Because like really the only people or creatures it's hurting are those who just wander onto like a thorn bush. Because I mean really the only thing going after roses and whatnot are like bees. And the thorns ain't doing nothing to them. I want to go that way. Because back in these woods I have me a little chill spot. But it's been like 1, maybe 2 years since I've been there. So stuff is like overgrown and all that good stuff. Have to kind of like recleave my way through there, through all this. See, that all seems too thick. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down that way and then kind of circle around back to the creek. Because I know for a fact, here's someone's motorcycle in the distance. I know for a fact this creek leads to where I want to go. God damn, bro. Homie's fucking gassing it. That big old tree looks like it has balls. Yeah. Benefit of having woods right behind your house. Oh, that's a spider web that you're allowed to go mess around in is come out here with airsoft guns and stuff and just have fun. You do gotta be careful though. I would highly advise you mark your airsoft weapons, like keep the orange tip on them or whatnot. I don't have that because I'm dumb. And also I've been doing this for years, and altogether I'm not really that worried about getting like caught up with the police. It is still definitely a not going to say threat, because that implies that they're doing something bad, which implies that I'm doing something bad. But issue, I guess I could say. You know, I have had one encounter, not with the police, but out of my other house. I was out in the woods, walking around. I didn't realize it, but I was accidentally trespassing because at some point I crossed, yeah, I'm a genius. I crossed an unmarked property line. And like I said, I didn't realize it, so I still thought I was in the chill. I thought I was in my woods. Safe to say, they saw me on their trail cameras, and they didn't call the police, but they called the landlord for our property, and he called my mom, and my mom was like, hey, stop trespassing. I was like, oh, all right, that's my bad. I mean, to be fair, you could mark your property lines, especially if, you know, people in your area go hunting or just exploring. But that aside, I still trespassed, which again, I didn't mean to do. And I was going to apologize to them sincerely, but they never like came over or anything to be like, hey, you know, you're trespassing and whatnot. Just figured I'd let you know this specific area is our property line. I don't know if you can see that, but right up there, there's a, looks like a red flag or bandana tied around a post. I did not put that there. I wonder what that is. But yeah, no, they didn't come over to be like, hey, you know, you trespassed, you know, whether or not it was an accident, just like, no, don't do it again. Because, like, I would have apologized. I would have been like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize I was trespassing. But they never did. And I can't technically just, fucking spider webs, dude. I can't just, like, walk up to their front door, because one, they have a really, really long driveway. And two, like the driveway is like half a mile long. And two, they have a sign right next to the entrance of the driveway that says no trespassing. So I couldn't like walk up to their house and be like, I am so sorry for accidentally trespassing. You know, please don't be mad at me. I couldn't do that. So they kind of have like this permanent grudge against me for something I did on accident. And they never wanted to, resolve it, hash it out. Something just bit me. No, it was my stock. I'm chilling. Another thing when going through the woods like this, be very careful of where you step. One, because, you could slip, trip, fall, end up actually breaking something. Two, you never know. Some hunters, even though it's technically illegal, they will put up traps for people, which, if you have your property marked and, it's a no trespassing zone, I get that. You don't want people trespassing, but there are better ways to go about it than setting up, fucking wire snares connected to, a flare launcher. Not incredibly common, but America's still big enough and has enough red bloods that it still happens. So, you gotta watch out for traps. You gotta watch out for slippery areas. Like I said, you don't want to slip, trip, break something, be all alone in the woods. That's why I have my phone on me. That's actually what I'm recording with. So, just in case. And the battery's full, plus I keep a spare battery on me if the first one dies. Be prepared. Prepare like you're actually gonna be stuck in those woods. Not necessarily for months on end, but maybe a week or two. Because the last thing, there's that opening down to the end of the creek. The last thing you want to do is try to climb something like this big old dam made by, what I'm assuming is beavers. That big tree looks like it fell, but the rest of it was all piled up by animals and whatnot. The last thing you want to do is try to cross something like that, break your leg, and not have any way to be like, hey, 911, I need help. I don't know exactly where I am. This is my house address. I'm in the woods behind the house. You can ping my phone and find me that way. Be prepared. Also, bring water. I didn't because I'm used to doing this. I don't get dehydrated all that easy. This isn't my first rodeo. I'm also not going to be out here for hours on end. But bring water and a bag of beef jerky so that for some reason, you do start getting parched or whatnot. You have something to kind of get your energy up. Protein bars, granola bars, those Nature Valley ones that everyone complains about being dry. Literally, just bring a thermos of ice cold milk and you can actually, soak them, those Nature Grain really dry cereal bars in the milk, and they soak it up and they kind of turn into actually a relatively sweet kind of cereal snack, like a bowl of cereal almost. Actually quite good. Bring a few of those, bring a couple protein bars, maybe some beef jerky, Camelback preferably, so you have just constant access to your water. But at least a 12-ounce bottle of water with a water filter, so that if for some reason you have to take dirty water, you can filter it, something like a Life Straw, actual hanging water filter, some form of filtration system, so that if your source of water that you brought with you runs out, you're not just stuck. Fucking tree branches. If you're actually hunting and have real guns and stuff on you, wear that safety orange. See, there's a fence right there, and I'm not crossing it, so I'm not trespassing, but watch out for marked property lines. because you may not be able to see it because my camera quality, but there's a chicken wire fence that runs from like over there all the way across. You gotta watch out for stuff like that. Not because that's a trap or anything, but it's someone else's property that they have fenced up because they don't want people trespassing. I'm gonna shorten my stock. This thing is ridiculously long. Not even aiming, so I don't need the length of pull to be where I need it normally for engagement with my red dot. Plus, it just makes it harder to travel through the woods. But yeah, no, be prepared. Just be prepared. If you think that there is a chance you might get like legitimately stuck somewhere because you know you're going out to wander around someplace stupid, bring a flare gun. Bring a flare gun and like 3 or 4 flares. So that one, if you for some reason can't, see, that's what I'm talking about. You gotta be careful because you could slip and break something. I didn't break anything, I just slipped in mud, but that's what I'm talking about. You gotta watch your footing. But yeah, no. Bring a flare gun if you know you're gonna be out there for a while and you know you're like really getting in the woods. Because if for some reason, oh, that's deep water. Fuck it, I'm just gonna walk through it. I got spare socks. If for some reason you don't have a way to contact emergency services, or for some reason that method like dies while they're on their way to find you, you can pop off a flare. And if that doesn't get someone's attention, well then, I don't know where you are, but you're lost, homeboy. Also, bring like a utility knife so that if you need to cut stuff, you can. Whew. Oh boy, it's hot. Gotta say, even though I don't like trench foot, that water on my feet feels great. Not gonna lie, it's kind of looking like since I last came out here, someone's cut down the trees that made my little, it was like the perfect little camping spot. This nice little circle, you could fit a tent and a campfire, maybe a hammock if you're packing a little lighter. Basically no one could see you as long as you had camouflage, and you could just chill. Like, yep, see that? Look, got all that mud and stuff on my red dot. That was a big ass fly. And for stuff like that, well, 1, bring gloves so you're not getting your hands grimy. 2, bring a microfiber cloth.